Members of the Fly Music Society, welcome back to the channel. So I have missed listening to Alip. This was actually one of the ones after the first one I did of Bohemian Rhapsody that I wanted to listen to. This is his cover of Sweet Child of Mine. Look, there's not a lot that needs to be said about Alip besides the fact that he's highly underrated, but I think that's kind of what he wants. Very humble guy, right? Just literally just playing acoustic or electric guitar in his room, films it, posts it, and is done with it. So really, really cool, man. This is one of the artists that's just like one of those chill artists out there that I love to support. But I'm excited for this. This looks like an acoustic rendition. Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses Fingerstyle cover. Without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into this. A reminder, I do have a Patreon. Lots of awesome things on there. Keep promoting my High Ren deep dive and my Taylor Swift album deep dive that I'm doing right now, and that should be up in June, so hopefully you guys will love that. Again, the Patreon is if you would like to support. It's not expected or required, but it does help the channel out a lot, so I do appreciate that very much. All right, let's do this. Let's start this. Alip, Guns N' Roses Fingerstyle cover. Here we go. Only using the left hand. So cool. We're going to start from the beginning, but this, in case you guys don't know, this right here, it's called a capo. Essentially, it takes the place of like barring your finger on that, whatever fret it's on, right? So this beginning where he's playing with one hand, it's impossible without a capo unless you were to tune your guitar differently. It allows him to play that part with one hand without strumming. That's really cool. Again, it's used a lot to create open string, open playing without retuning the guitar, right? Really cool. But that's kind of a simple thing. What I want you guys to know is that the left hand, so his fretting hand, is playing the guitar part, and his right hand, the tapping, is playing the bass part. Really, really cool. He's playing two instruments here at once. Well, two parts at once. He's playing now kind of three different parts, right? The guitar on the fretting hand, the left hand, the bass at the beginning with the tapping on the right hand, but now he's strumming and he's also keeping rhythm, so playing essentially the drum part, right? All that stuff is really cool and might be lost on some, but I think that's really cool way to kind of incorporate the entire song here. And it's really like, he's not really adding any notes to the song, right? He's playing it as it was, but in his own way. The Alip special. We got four things, or four different parts of the track now. The guitar, the bass, the drums, the vocal part section, right? Which I guess you can say is now the guitar part, but we'll keep it that way. I want to mention the fingering right here, though. Over here. So, like, this looks awkward, probably because it is. This probably wouldn't be the fingering he would use for that guitar part, but because he's also playing the bass here on this low string, he had to. So, like, he's also having to alter his fingering choice, and it may not be effective or efficient, so he can play that bass part, right? Again, these are all kind of thoughts that happen when you're rearranging this to play on guitar. I really like that he's doing the vocal harmonies too. That's crazy. It's actually one of my favorite solos. I know it's simple, but just the flow of that solo is really cool. So let's go back. I was curious. Really cool, man. I was curious what he was gonna do with that ending solo. I was thinking about something while I didn't want to interrupt while I was watching, but really because of the capo, this kind of whole fretting portion of it kind of changes a little bit, right? There's a lot of open strings where there wasn't before. He essentially had to rearrange this for himself, which is amazing. I think that's kind of the thing that's lost. And it's just like, no, you're not just replaying a song on acoustic guitar. Like, you're rearranging it to fit your type of music, to fit your, your style of playing. I think that is probably the most amazing part of this, because again, this song is not that crazy to play. That intro portion that he played is hard in the original, but he made it easier. But other than that, like, that's really the most important thing on this. I want to go back real quick to the to that ending solo. I really like what he did with the ending, because to be honest with you, that ending is like a whole tonal shift in the song, even in the original. So I do like what he kept it the same tone, the same feeling of the song. Still played that same, you know, chord progression essentially that they do in the original when they start doing the craziness. But he made it his own. Yeah, man. Like Alip, like I say it every time, but I do think the arrangement is, there's something to be said about the arrangement that he puts together for these, because that's no easy feat. You know, it's not just like he can sit down and, well, I don't know, maybe he's so talented, which I wouldn't be surprised that he just sits down and it comes to him, but I'm sure he thinks about the arrangement beforehand and sets it, plays around with it, and figures out the best way to finger it and all that stuff. Ayo. But I do think that, like, that's the most impressive thing outside of his playing on this, because those arrangements, man, like, not only do you have to think about the notes and the chord progressions and how the notes fit in the melody, but you also got to figure out the fingering, because you're trying to play the bass, you're trying to play the singing melodies, you're also trying to make sure that the chord progressions are there, and you're playing drums with the guitar too. All that stuff comes into how the arrangement is put together. So like, that part to me is the most impressive thing. And I know that, like, there's something to be said also to his, like, guitar playing in general, which is a whole another thing that he's good at, but the arrangement is what impresses me the most. But that was really cool, man. Like, I'm gonna do more Alip, because I love seeing his talent on display and just how humble he is. There's no talking in any of his videos. He doesn't promote himself. He just gets on there, plays the guitar like a badass, and then cuts the video. Like, we need more people like him out there. So anyways, if you like this, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell on my channel, but please go to Alip's channel and make sure you like and subscribe to him too. Let's see, right now he's currently at 5.98 million subscribers. This has 11 million views. So he did tune this down. BBGCAD. So he did tune it down, and he had the capo. Interesting. I'm glad I read that. So that kind of puts a whole new perspective on it. This was to make this as easy as it could be for his arrangement, right? So normal tuning, for you guys that don't know, is EADGBE. So yeah, this is a whole different tuning. It's not like it's drop D or anything. The first two are drop down. No, that's not even. No, it is a whole different. That's crazier to me. That makes it even more interesting. I know it was tuned to kind of make it easy for him, but like, to understand where the notes are at once you've tuned it differently. Like for me, I have a little bit of a photographic memory on that, where like the 3rd fret on the 2nd string is the C. Like, I know that just by looking at it, I know what chord it is. But once you change the tuning, that all gets jumbled. And that's where I find is really difficult to like kind of keep up with what's going on. But that makes it even more impressive, right? That's crazy. Make sure you guys subscribe to Alip. That threw me for a loop a little bit. Put notifications on, all that jazz. Support this guy. Truly immense talent, and just a humble dude altogether. So I really do appreciate the love and support you guys have been showing me. Thank you so much. We're almost at 10K. Which is crazy to me considering I don't post very much. So keep it coming. I really do love you guys so much. And please do remember that good vibes are contagious.